The Blue Jays are always so well supported regardless of where they play, and today they finish up a series in Texas. As we get set for first pitch, off we go to the guys from SN Bets.
Thank you, Jamie Campbell and CJ. This is Pat Stuthers, and this is the SN Bets Big Board presented by Bet365. This was a get-right road trip for the Toronto Blue Jays. Are the markets leaning sweep for the Blue Jays today?
Well, it's definitely leaning that way, but it's not as one-sided as you might think for a team that's won 10 of their last 12 games. Minus 125 on the money line because it's a bullpen day for Toronto. Righty reliever Trevor Richards will kick things off and hope the high-powered offense continues. Bo Bichette dancing in September. 6 doubles, 6 home runs, 18 ribbies over the last 9 games. Last night, everybody got a hit. If this continues, Blue Jays should have no problem taking care of this sweep.
They are very impressive. The Dodgers are really San Diego's Padre. Rivalries are cemented when both teams win. This is not that. LA leads the season series 11-4, and the Dodgers are the first team to score 300 more runs than their opponents since the 2001 Seattle Mariners, who won 116 games. Andrew Heaney did not give up an earned run in his previous start against San Diego. This offense is absurd.
Speaking of absurd, Zach Gallen this season. The Arizona right-hander hasn't allowed a run in 41 1/3 consecutive innings. 2 more outs will tie him with Brandon Webb for a franchise record, meaning tonight he'll have a very good shot at breaking it. 11-2 on the season with a 2.42 ERA, 4-1 against the Rockies, and in Colorado, sporting a 2.03 earned run average. But he'll have his work cut out for him. On this 4-game win streak, the Rockies have put up 35 runs.
Oof. It turns out that 2023 is a rebuild for the San Francisco Giants, who won 107 games last season. They're at 66 right now. On this 8-game road trip, they're scoring 3 runs a game. John Brebbia is scheduled to make a bullpen start, which means he'll likely be done after the first or second inning. Journeyman Wade Miley makes his second start since missing 3 months due to shoulder surgery. The Cubs have lost all 3 of their Sunday night baseball games. October can't come soon enough, Pat.
Well, it's important games for some teams and less important games for others. Lots of action across the MLB tonight. Good luck to all you bettors not watching football. Jamie, back to you.
Pat rocking an Earth, Wind, and Fire lyric there. Very nice. Okay, earlier in the show, you mentioned the term pockets with respect to a hitter. Explain what you meant there.
Yeah, sure did. The 3-batter pocket is what the Blue Jays are really looking for. And what does that exactly mean? What they're trying to do is they're trying to find each pitcher's strengths and match that up against the opposing hitter's weaknesses or tendencies. Let's take a look at just 2 examples right here, starting off with Seager. Okay, the red is hot, the blue is cold. As you can see on the left, versus the high pitch, there's a lot of hot there. He is an up hitter. The swing path is more up. Go down to the right box. Low pitch, there's a lot of cold there. He does not like the low pitch. Who would be a good matchup for Seager? Well, you're looking at a guy like Richards, who features that changeup down and away. Even Phelps, who can throw that low cutter. Okay, that's just one example. Let's go to Nathaniel Lowe here. Okay, now we're looking at hard and soft. Remember, the red is hot. The blue is cold. Look on the left, versus off speed. Those are soft pitches. He hammers soft stuff in the zone. Go to the right, anything 95 miles an hour or harder, he's cold. He does not like it hard, and especially up. Who's a good matchup for Nathaniel Lowe? I look at a guy like Yimi Garcia throwing that 95+ mile an hour fastball, even a Julian Merriweather, maybe even Yusei Kikuchi. So those are just 2 little examples of how they're trying to find those pockets. And remember what the Blue Jays did at the deadline. They didn't go out and just get fireballers. They went and got Zach Pop and Anthony Bass, who featured 2 pitches to really complement that bullpen. And what it does is it rounds off that pocket. There's some guys with high velo, there's some guys with sinkers, there's some guys with sliders. And so trying to figure out all of those little matchups is exactly what the Blue Jays have done with their bullpen. And it's going to be huge today, considering it's an entire bullpen game, Jamie.
Really speaks to the complexity of the job that John Schneider and his staff have in determining who follows Richards, when, who gets warm in the bullpen, who sits. As we look at the Blue Jays lineup for the game today, and Papateo is back in there batting 5th for the Blue Jays and playing in left field, and Whit Merrifield is starting. His last start was Tuesday in Baltimore. His numbers career against Martin Perez are exceptional. 10 for 26 career against the Rangers lefty, a .385 average. Now, the Rangers lineup is brought to you by Bet365. Lowe, as Caleb mentioned, is pretty good against the soft stuff. He has an MLB high 68 hits since the All-Star break, and that man Garcia's home run last night came off the bat at 113 miles an hour. We'd like to show you how Rogers is empowering Indigenous youth through sports. Working through the Jays Care Foundation's Field of Dreams program, they've rebuilt a baseball diamond in Wet'suwet'en First Nation, located about 300 kilometers west of Prince George, British Columbia. Here's how baseball brings people together.
Wet'suwet'en is situated in northwest BC. We are a First Nations community about 30 kilometers north of Smithers. What makes Wet'suwet'en extra special is how welcoming it is to anybody that's from outside the community. The Sports Day weekend has been going on for decades. For generations, it's just been a huge thing that brings this community together. It's always been something that this community has been proud of.
Communities from Prince George to Terrace come out and enjoy the weekend of ball. This weekend in particular is so special to me because the Ladies and the Youth Diamond has been rebuilt. Having the Blue Jays donation and having all this work done to a brand new ball field is amazing. I'm just tickled pink. I just love it. Rebecca applied for the funding. She told me about it. I was like so amazed.
You know, we really want to be able to ensure not only Wet'suwet'en but other communities are aware of opportunities that could be available to their communities, such as this, you know, such as Wet'suwet'en, that this is possible for all the communities along Highway 16.
This is a ball field that's going to be played on by many youth and many women for generations to come. And so to see the community come out and support this project and to put in that time and effort into it is just such an inspiring thing to see.
I would like to say Tabi Masai Kyo. That means thank you very much for your donation for the fields.
I think this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to like the stuff that's going to happen in this community. You know, come out here.
Oh, wasn't that a beautiful looking diamond? 21 years ago. You remember where you were? It's the Blue Jays taking on the Texas Rangers today on Sportsnet. Stay with us. There's your leadoff man today and designated hitter. George Springer gets set to take on the Texas Rangers this afternoon here on Sportsnet.
A fly ball pretty deep left center into the Blue Jay bullpen, and he hits it to deep left. He's done it again. His 5th home run of the series. On fire. Can you believe this? Upper deck home run. Delgado with another towering fly ball to right field. Delgado's got another home run.
This is getting kind of silly now, isn't it?
Drilled to deep left field. Gone. A blast from Bo Bichette. Straightaway center field. And it is gone. A 3-homer game for Bo Bichette.
This is the best I have seen.
Well hit right center field. And it is gone. Bo Bichette has done it again. What a road trip.
Just give him the player of the week right now.
I think you're right.
Prior to this trip, Carlos Delgado, as you saw, had the most productive 10-game trip in Blue Jays history when he ravaged the Yankees, the Twins, and as you saw, Texas as well. Bo has 21 hits on this trip so far, still a game to be played to complete 10 on the road. I recall Bob Baylor, who was a favorite of a lot of us in 1977, had 20 hits on an 11-game road trip at one point. So what Bo is doing is so rare, and as his manager said, quote, this is the best version of Bo we've seen. So if that's the case, and you just happen to be catching for Texas today, How do you get this guy out?
4, go to first base. I mean, he's just unstoppable right now, and it's something to behold. What a 1 week can do for a guy, right? And let's just look at what the hits look like visually. They're all over the place. I'll tell you, when I was hot, they were all to one side of the field. Nope, not Bichette. They're all over the place. And look at all of the hits to right field. And I'll tell you what, folks, when you are in a heater and you're able to go to right field, that is something to be proud of. The greats, all the great hitters, they handle the ball away so well. And why is that important? Because most pitchers want to get hitters out away. Most pitchers do not like going inside. The fear of leaking the ball over to the middle of the plate is a big thing for them. They don't like going in there with conviction. And when you have a guy like Bo Bichette, who is able to drive the ball to right center field, it sets up the entire game plan. It forces those pitchers to do things they don't want to do in terms of coming in. And when they miss in towards the middle of the plate, he's blasting it to left field. When they leave pitches out of the plate, he's blasting them to right field. And his aggressiveness is noticeable. We talked about that a couple days ago, and just in terms of him doing so much damage between pitches 0 through 2, first 2 pitches of the AB, he is coming out ready to hit. He's coming out ready to swing it, and it is something to behold. I remember catching in front of guys like A-Rod, Teixeira, even your David Ortiz. And if you didn't do some work on the inner lane, Jamie, you couldn't throw the ball far enough away from him. But again, like we talked about, pitchers don't love going inside. And so you're forced to throw the ball away. His ability to go to right field and not just score a little single to right field, but to drive it with power is dangerous. And it puts a catcher in a spot where, oh my goodness, anything I throw outside, he's about to hammer, and I don't really want to go inside, so where do I pitch this guy? Just walk him.
Yes.
Just walk him. But he's a great bad ball hitter, too. And so then it's like, well, you can't even throw him strikes. It's something to behold. He's really on a heater.
Barry Bonds treatment with the bases loaded. Just put him on and we'll deal with whoever's hitting behind him. Lots on the network today, including the race at Laguna Seca. Will Power on the pole there, and he has the lead going into the final race. So he could win his first championship in some time. Spruce Meadows is on Sportsnet 1. I worked there for a couple of years, many, many years ago. And then later, we'll join up with the game between Atlanta and Seattle as we continue to watch the wild card race. Trevor Richards opens for the Blue Jays today in a bullpen game against the Texas Rangers. Last game before the Blue Jays bring it all home, and we hope you enjoy it. Thank you, as always, for watching Blue Jays Central.